Good evening and welcome to the DS Domination Team UK Hangout. We're here this evening to give you some more information, more insights into what's happening with DS Domination. And for all the people that just watch maybe the first 5 minutes of a Hangout and then say, what are they talking about? Let's give you an overview very quickly of what DS Domination is. So it's a training platform that gives you all the resources to enable you to take a product from, let's say, Amazon and then sell it on eBay. And it's as simple as that. We give you all the training to do it most effectively, to find good products that are going to be most profitable. And then as you go up through the training platform, you can start for $20, which is about £12, and you can go all the way up to the $1,000 product. And they all have their obviously different level of benefits. So the first one is working on commissions of $2–3 per sale, so you're going to be churning through them. As you go up to the top product, the Genesis product, that's $1,000, and that works on mass shipment of product going through Fulfill by Amazon. And it just capitalizes on products that you can buy for $1. Or I mean, how many of these have we seen people posted up? Wow, I've just found another product, 50 cents I buy it for, and I can sell it on Amazon for $25. So it's huge. It's only just started the Genesis product. But we've got a level for everybody. If you're totally brand new to it, you want to come in at the basic level and work your way up slowly. So that's what it is. We're taking products. We do not have any stock in our garages, under beds, or in the attic. It's all online. So you're just listing a product. It's got to be done a certain way, and it's got to be done so that you can make the most profit. So we incorporate discounts and vouchers and all sorts of little tricks to make it more profitable for you. So if you're watching this Hangout, whether it's live or the recording, what I want you to do is to look down and leave us a comment now, because the comment section down below this video, it sometimes doesn't work. It sometimes updates quite irregular for me anyway. So if you can leave us a comment, tell us where you are. We want to know, are you all from the UK? Are you all international people? Where are you watching this Hangout from? So what you'll see is a 22 social page, which is the video Hangout, and then if you scroll down past the block of text there, you'll see a comment section going down. And Rick, if you can give us a few shouts out from people as they're commenting, as soon as that happens. I don't know whether it's going to be instantly or whether it's going to be in like 10 minutes time or something like that, when I get to see it.
Cool.
All right. So yeah, so that's DS Domination. So what we've got inside DS Domination is it's primarily a US-based company, but it works worldwide. So wherever Amazon is, wherever eBay is, you can sell on them platforms. The way we've got it focused in the UK is we've got support groups on Facebook, which are very, very active, full of questions, full of answers. As soon as a question goes into these Facebook groups, they're pretty much answered within minutes. So really, if you're inside DS Domination and you're in the UK, all you've got to do to qualify to get into these groups is send a screenshot of the top banner of your back office of DS Domination, showing your name and showing the active products that you've got inside DS Domination. And then we will put you into the relevant groups. So contact any of us on here, and we'll get that sorted out for you, so that you've got the full support and the full oomph, and you can go ahead more confidently and make more profits. That's what it's all about. So what have I seen in DS Domination this week? The event was 2 weeks ago. So the event in Las Vegas was 2 weeks ago, and there was a lot of footage that was filmed there of the whole event, and people have been, come on, where's the footage, where's the footage? You'll be happy to know the footage is now in the back office, and I think that that's been added to. It's not complete. It's been added to over and over. and some of the bonuses are in the back office as well. So check that out, and then over the next, I would say, next few days or next week, there'll be more and more bonuses in the back office. So whether you bought a standard ticket or a VIP ticket, you'll get access to the relevant thing. So another thing, I think I'll be right in saying that the people that bought the ticket have access now. But Kevin, I don't know whether you know this. Do you know if people can still buy a ticket to get access to the videos, footage?
That is a very good question. I don't. No, I have no idea. It's not something that's come up before.
But you bought it, and I didn't, and I get the order form. So I would say if you haven't got the ticket, you know, you can click it, buy a ticket, and then you get all the footage. That's what I reckon.
My understanding is I think you can pay for it through that order form.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. So it's worth a try anyway, and if you want to question that, you can send a ticket into support. So there's still an opportunity to get the footage, and if you buy a VIP ticket, you're going to get the bonuses as well. And the other thing that we've got is that Genesis was released. People are going through that, and I'm trying to get somebody on that's gone through Genesis and see if it's any good, see if it's worth spending $1,000. Kevin, what are your thoughts so far on Genesis?
Just go and buy it. There's no need to even. If you know what it is, Rick, you've got it, haven't you? I think Rick might have it as well. Did you get Genesis, Rick?
Sorry, I was on mute. No, I haven't got it yet.
All right, okay.
Tell us what it is then, Kevin.
Well, I've got to tell you what it is without revealing what it is. And that's not easy. In short, what it is quite simply is you will have the ability to import directly from China in a very safe format. What actually happens is you'll be working with, well, it's all done through DS, but you'll be working with someone, let's put it that way. You select a product from a vast range of products, and then you will put your money into escrow. If anybody knows what an escrow account is, a lot of people do. It's quite often an account that's used in property. So if you're buying a property overseas, for instance, and dealing with an overseas supplier, you don't really know them. You'll put your money into escrow, and it's only when you complete on the purchase that you would then turn around to escrow and say, fine, now you can release my money. This is the same with this. The products will be delivered. You'll put your money in an escrow account. The products will be delivered directly to you. So, you know, they come directly to you, so you can check them out, make sure you're happy with them. When you're happy with them, then you say to the escrow account, fine, pay my Chinese supplier, I'm happy now. And you do exactly what you just said, then it goes for FBA. But the margins are, I mean, Roger was showing his products. I sat up last Saturday till 4:30 a.m. on a specialist Genesis webinar. You have to have Genesis to be invited to it. And he was showing us products that you could purchase between $3 and $8, and they were being sold on Amazon at $60, $70, $80 a piece, each item. So my opinion is, if you're thinking about it, if you've got the money, and that's, you know, obviously important for anybody, there's nothing to think about. Just go and buy it. You know, it is just a completely different step up. But I don't think you go there straight away. I think you do exactly. When we were in Vegas, Hitesh, who was a very honourable person, and somebody who I was extremely impressed with in terms of his morals and so on, stood with Roger, and Roger was saying, right, we're going to launch Genesis now, and then Hitesh came out and said, okay, we're going to launch it, but look, guys, I don't want you to buy it. I don't want you to buy it unless you can afford to buy it. We'd rather you made the money through our systems, and then you buy it. And he said, Roger's actually not going to be very happy with me for this, I'm sure, but Roger's okay as well. Believe me, he's a good moral person as well. And I like that ethic, and I think that's the ethic you've got to have. There's two sides to it. If you're a businessman and you've got a budget, you want to invest in your business for marketing and everything else, then it comes out of that budget. And quite often with a business, you will start off with, right, I'm going to start a business up. I've got £10,000 I'm going to put into it, which, to be honest, with a proper business that's not going to go very far, frankly, by the time you've brought your tools to get going and so on. So if you're that type of frame of mind and you put a budget aside for this and you've got enough money, just buy it. It's as simple as that. It's going to make you very, very wealthy. But if you're not in that frame and you're somebody who's joined DS Domination at the pro level and you've joined at your £12 a month, and I'll come back to this in a minute, I think, if you joined at your £12 a month, if you're earning a little bit of money, then you take the step up to elite. You've taken the step up to elite. That's going to make a huge difference. I personally think there's a weakness in the UK, which was one of the reasons Rick asked me to come on here tonight to do with trading in the USA, which I'll come back to in a minute. But you go to elite, you make a bit more money, and then you get unleashed. You make a bit more. There's more suppliers in unleashed. There's more suppliers in elite. So you're going to progress with that, and then you go to Monopoly, of course, and then you go to Genesis. Personally, I think you could almost choose between Genesis and Monopoly which one you wanted to actually work with. So it's where you want to be with your business. Going back to what Rick said to me, the reason Rick contacted me and said, "Can you come on and just have a chat about it?" We started this off in November. I think some of you guys are even a little bit earlier than that. You joined. I think one of you on here joined in September time, and started recruiting people. I recruited, I think, 40 people in the first 2 weeks, which was just miraculous to me compared to anything else I'd done. And a lot of UK people we're not just cynical, we're also, we are naturally quite cynical. We're also very cautious people over here. Whereas you'll find the Americans will see something and quite often a lot of them will just jump in with both feet. They'll be there, they'll go for it. Whereas a lot of us, we like to evaluate everything and, and cross all the T's and dot all the I's and do our Excel spreadsheets and everything else that needs to be done, and then maybe we'll go for it, but even then we'll hold back, and it's just the way we are as British people. So what happened when we started, and I don't know if you see the same, Stephen, with your guys downline, is that people come on, and one of the first questions is, do I go in the UK, Amazon and eBay, or do I go .com, USA? And it's too easy, really, to turn around and say, go UK, do UK, because we feel really safe, That actually isn't the message in the training. The message in the training is very, very clear to go USA. But we go the safe route. We stick in the UK, as I say, because everybody feels safe. What we need to understand is that actually the UK Amazon, my understanding is there are, is it 24 million products or something like that in UK Amazon? Something like that. But more importantly, there's just over 60 million people in the UK for us to work with. In the USA, there are 350 million people, okay? And if their sort of membership of eBay relates anything to what our membership, in fact, I know what the membership is, thinking about it. The membership for eBay is 124 million. That's how many customers the .com eBay has got. So it's 124 million guys with an eBay account, okay? Over here, I think it's something like 24. I can't remember, but it's nowhere near what it is in the USA. And the same with the supplier with Amazon. Again, vastly more products in the USA. But we don't want to go there because it's the USA and it's a big scary animal and it's over there across the Atlantic, and I don't want to touch that because I'm scared of it. Not scared of it, I'm cautious. I'm being British, which is normal for all us guys. Fact is, guys, if you narrow it down, in fact what it is this thing here in front of me. It's my computer. That's all I work with. That's it. So when you're drop shipping, I don't actually go and get the goods myself and deliver it to somebody's house. And if I've got to do a return, I don't go and get it and take it back to Amazon either. It's all done for me, and it's done through pressing a few buttons on my computer. So I think we've got to we've got to get out of that mindset of being safe in the UK and say we need to open the doors a bit more. Follow the message that Roger delivers in the training, which if you go back to it, if you've missed it, he's telling you. You know, you might remember opening an eBay account and then working overseas, and he tells you to open your .co.uk and then put in .com. You'll have to go back to the training to get that bit, and trade in the USA. That's what he's telling everybody to do. But we're not doing it as a rule, and the problem is we started in September, November, and we've kind of kept that message going because it's easier. You know, those of us that are recruiting people, it's easier to say to somebody who's on the verge of joining the system, well, do I work in the UK or do I work in the USA? It's easier to say, well, you can work in the UK. The USA can come later on. You know, so they sign up to the UK, and there's just, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, because if you're in the UK, you'll still make money, but it's just daft because it's not a big enough marketplace. It's the difference between going to your corner shop and going to your Tesco superstore. You know, there's so much more choice, and there's so many more people at your Tesco superstore to work with than there is at your corner shop. No offence to anybody who's got a corner shop. I love corner shops, by the way.
Good place for some cheap booze.
Yeah, well, I'm not a drinker myself, Stephen, but I get my bit from eating.
Kevin, can I just ask, what would be your comments there on the difference sort of financially between things like VAT being included in PayPal fees and stuff over in the UK, but also when you go to the US, things like tax and things like that? I honestly think tax has a big reason, you know, is one of the biggest things that scares people.
Well, okay, let's just refer to tax a little bit. One of my businesses is a property investment company, and we're involved in overseas property investments. And there is the VAT is exclusive to the UK. It's our system, value-added tax, or if you know what I mean. I mean, I'm sure other countries have got tax systems as well, and maybe they call them value-added tax. But our value-added tax system relates to us. Okay, so if you're trading in the UK, VAT is going to be applicable to what you do. So if you're buying products from a UK supplier, the VAT will already be built into that product when it's sold to you. Okay, when you sell it on, if you're not VAT registered, then you don't charge VAT on top of the price of that product, even though you've already paid it. And that's how the system works, because your suppliers paid the VAT effectively. You don't pay it, so the government gets all that VAT from your supplier. Somebody has to fall out the system, basically, and that's how they get their VAT. In the UK at the moment, the VAT threshold, I believe, is £86,000. So once you've turned over £86,000, you're actually obliged to get registered for VAT. Then when you get registered for VAT, you will have to pay. You will have to basically charge an extra 20% on top of your product. So you've got to trade over £86,000, which is obviously quite. Are you playing a game there, Rick? You've got a controller in your hand.
He's answering questions on the Hangout.
I wouldn't be that rude, Kevin. No, I'm doing everything completely mobile this evening. I'm responding to the questions on a phone.
All right, okay. So that's the VAT threshold. Now, as I said, I used to have an overseas property company. Everything we dealt with, because there's no VAT relationship between the UK and the overseas countries, we basically used to get refunds every quarter or every month. I think it was every month. We used to get a refund because we could claim back every bit of VAT that we were being charged here in the UK because we were selling products overseas. So if you go to the USA and start trading, if you keep a record of, and you are VAT registered because you want to deal in the UK, if you keep a record of everything you do, if your sales were all overseas, you'd actually be able to claim your VAT back on your running costs for your business, which is what happened with us, with the investment company. So people have talked about, they go to the USA, they're going to trade over there. They're a bit worried because I believe there's a few states over there that charge tax. Roger has already told people what to charge on top of your products in order to cover that tax. I can't remember that percentage. I don't know if somebody else can. But the fact is, there's no VAT relationship, so you'll be able to trade over there freely. you won't have to put 20%. You won't be able to put 20% on your products, which here, once you go over that £86,000 threshold, you'll have to put 20% on. My advice to everybody is, again, get to the USA. Start looking at it seriously. Don't be scared of it. It's your computer. It's not the USA. Look at your computer. That's what it is. It's not, it's not America. Oh my God, Americans! Woo, woo, woo!
What about if they stick, Stars and Stripes flag over the screen? They might think that they're in the US then.
Well, we could try that. We'd have a job to see their screen, though, wouldn't they? So, I mean, we're working with our team at the moment. I've got there's a couple of guys who've come in who are in fact, top 10 networkers in the UK, and they've looked at the system. They like the system, and they said that's the only thing that's restrictive in a couple of ways. They're keen to get involved, and I've said to them the problem is we've started off. This happens in anything because this is a network marketing system at the end of the day. It's a multi-level marketing system with a fantastic difference in that if you don't want to go out there and recruit people, you just use the product to make some money for yourself. And that's great. You can't do that in anything else. You've got to go and keep selling product and build your network. That's the beauty of this system. But again, with any other system, what you do is they've got, I'll tell you, I don't mind mentioning names, I quite like them anyhow, but Clean Easy, for instance, their routine is you buy 200 catalogues, you drop out 200 catalogues, you go and pick up 200 catalogues, and you'll have 15% of orders. And that's pretty well guaranteed. That happens every time. Then you do it again, then you do it again. At the end of the third time, you've marked off all the people who brought stuff, and they are now the only people you take catalogues to. So you don't take them to the people who never brought off you because they're not buyers. So there's their system. You've got the diet company, who I hate to mention. I'm not going to say I have a personal grudge against them, but I wouldn't recommend it to anybody to join. And no offence to people who are in this system, it's up to them. I'll tell you what, actually, I won't mention the name because I've probably said enough already. But their system is you get three, you basically get 3 people on board and yours is 3, and they keep working that down. And that's what you have to do with everybody. So you've got to go and get another 3, another 3, another 3, another 3, and so on, and then work with your team to get them to get 3 and get them to get 3. This is 3 people, by the way, to come into your system. So you're constantly looking for new people. And again, the beauty of this is if you don't want to go recruiting, you just use the system to make a little bit of money. I'm losing myself here a little bit. What was the point I was trying to make? I've lost myself, Stephen. That's all day.
I think you were talking about having product, maybe, like the Clean Easy magazines, and the hard work it is that it's local. Maybe was that your point?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
My point is.
I'm trying to read your mind, but I'm not very good at that.
You've got to have a mind first. My point is, there's all these systems set up. There is no. Right, that was the point I was trying to make. So you join a product, you have a system, the system's put in front of you, you follow the system, you duplicate the system. Okay? What we did with this, and I think we're guilty of it a little bit in the UK, is we joined DS Domination, and our system, we decided, an awful lot of us, I don't know what your ratio is, an awful lot of us to work in the UK because it was safe. Now the problem is that's getting duplicated. As more and more people come on, it's getting duplicated. Work in the UK, work in the UK. And I'm not saying it's not, but it's going to get crowded. It's going to get crowded eventually. So we have to sort of backtrack a little bit and go back to the training, listen to Roger's message and say, he's not even telling us UK, he's telling us to use the USA and open this big market. And then as we move forward, make that the message to people.
Okay,
USA,
so
let's get that.
So on that, I think that initially, correct me if I'm wrong, you've got to have a UK account because we're in the UK.
Absolutely.
You've got to get 10 positive feedback as a seller, and then you can go across to the .com site.
Yeah, but it's not difficult to get 10 feedback, is it? How big's your family?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think that
let's clarify that. Let's clarify that, Stephen, and just speak that I hope nobody from eBay is watching, but I'm sure they won't mind. But I mean, Roger teaches you, put some products on from home to start with. You know, if you're looking to create a new account, sell them to, just sell them. You either sell them cheaply or maybe sell them to family members and, you know, get some feedback from them.
Yeah.
I never said that. I will deny that in a court of law.
I didn't see you say it anyway. I was like this the whole time. I might watch the recording though, see what you said.
Oh God, yeah. Never mind.
Okay, so get over to the US. There's things that you need for the US. Then let's try and focus on this because there's a lot of people that are watching from the UK. They need a card to make purchases in the US. There's a couple that are available, but only one of them is recommended because it will it works on all the different suppliers that we use. Am I right?
Actually, it doesn't, Stephen.
Which one are you thinking of?
Are you thinking Payoneer?
No, that's the one that doesn't work. US Unlocked is the one that works.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's what. Yeah. Okay.
So, just so that people know.
Oh, it's Obi. Hello, Obi.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing? So the US Unlocked was it you, Obi, that told me about this last week?
Yes, I think so.
US Unlocked.
I heard it from somebody in one of the groups. I think his name's Chris. So if you're watching, Chris, kudos to you. It's an American-based card which works with some of the elite suppliers that might not necessarily take your card because it's based outside the UK. Some of the elite suppliers will not take PayPal that's based outside the US. But this US Unlocked card is a prepaid MasterCard that's registered within the US, so it gets around that. I'm personally just going through verification on it at the moment because you do have to upload identification documents. So obviously I can report back once that happens, but you will need to preload it to get the process going. So you need to make sure that you do have some funds freed up in your DSD account for that.
Or in any account to load it up.
Yes, you know, in the account that you use for your DSD, then you have to have a little bit of available funds to preload it to start the process off. There's a $15 fee added on your first load to cover the card, and that's it then.
And that first load of the card, I looked in the back office, was $50 was the minimum.
Yes.
And then they stick that $15 processing fee on top of that. So $65, you can go through then the verification process. And then once you've got your card, probably within 2 weeks, I would say you'd have your card. These prepaid cards don't take long from the US. Once you've got that, you can then load it up again and again and again. Then you can make your purchases inside the US. You've got a US address for your card, so that all works. Does that give you a US address so that you can use for transactions on eBay and Amazon for setting up your accounts?
I don't believe so, but the elite training does go through the process of how to set up a US shipping address to use for items. But I believe the card, while it gives you a US, the card is linked to a US billing address. It's not the address that you could have things shipped to, for instance. I believe you have to set up something separate for that.
But even on that card, the US Unlocked, so the website we're talking about is usunlocked.com.
Yep.
When you go to there, I got an email today because I've looked at the site, and they were saying that as a bonus, what was it called? US Post US or something like this. There's something in the back office of US Unlocked that says, do you want a postal address as well?
Yes, you can use that.
So it's a different company, but they're linked somehow.
Yeah, I went ahead and got a US shipping address with the company that's mentioned in the elite training. I went ahead and did that one before I found out about the US Unlocked. But yes, there is an affiliated company in the back office that will give you a billing address if that's a concern for you.
There's quite a few of them actually.
Mm.
There's quite a few of them. You can choose which one you want. I think there's about 6 or 7.
So what are the other concerns then with people going overseas then? Let's make that our focus. We've just touched on that you just need 10 feedback on your eBay account. Then you can go over to the US. We've got a card. We've got a billing address. What else what other concerns are people coming up with?
Nothing.
It
I'm
can't be that easy.
I am monitoring the questions, guys. It does seem that you've touched on most of the subjects that people have put questions in. Robert was just mentioning the affiliate side. I want to move to the affiliate side, but need to get more consistent sales to show how well this works. I will happily, very quickly answer that for him. Yes, very ethical. I insisted on making some sales before going to the affiliate side. But don't get bogged down thinking that you need to earn thousands before you start sponsoring people. Because in the end, an extra $20, as long as you cover your subscription fee, it works. If you're in profit, it works. So that is really all people need to see. Obviously, the more you make, the better that is, and the more confidence you'll have when you show it to people. But don't overanalyze that process. You know, once you're in profit, then feel free to share it.
Yeah, exactly, and then it can duplicate. It's easy.
Yeah.
What other? Did you give any?
Can I comment on that one? You should have known I would.
Of course you can.
Yeah, can I comment on that one? I mean, this has been something since day one. Obviously, day one, we had no evidence of sales at all. None of us did, because we'd only just started and only just joined. And then as things progressed, I'm just going to put an alternative view on it, Rick.
Yeah, no, feel free. Yeah.
In regard to promoting, because you see, some of us, for instance, I like team building. Okay, I really enjoy that. Shelley, who's here, likes doing the trading online. She enjoys that. So we said, right, you do the trading, I'll do the team building. So from very early days, I did do some listings. I sold some products, but I don't list now. I'll hold my hands up. I do not list. I concentrate on team building. That's what I do. I've got to be honest, having seen Genesis, I've kind of changed my mind a little bit on that, but you know, that's a whole new ball game. Now, what happened, and it's happened quite a lot, and people out there will understand this, is I understand the need to feel confident in the product before you go to somebody else and say it works. Before you go to somebody else and say it works, I'd like to, you know, why don't you come and join this thing? And I sat there and I heard that time and time again from people. What sort of came to me was, do you know what? I hear what you're saying. At the end of the day, what you want is evidence that this works before you talk to somebody else. Okay? You've only got to go into your team. You've got 280 odd people in your team. They're all members, all of them. They are selling products. Okay? They are selling products. They are evidence. It works. Okay, so although I understand your own personal need to do that, if you're keen on, and I'm going to come to something else in a minute, if you're either keen on the team building thing or there's a very good reason to do it, which I'll come to right now, is the evidence is there. Just come into your UK team and introduce people to that and say, look, or tag them maybe, or link them up to a couple of other guys who are involved, or find prospecting groups. There are loads of people out here who are making money from DS Domination. Now, the reason I say it is because Steve made a very good point. Some people, and I've got it now in our team, where we've got people who are still on DS Pro, who are earning £100, £200 a week, and they're still proving it to themselves. They've been in for 5 months, you know, and they're still proving it to themselves. And they were keen to do the affiliate side of things to start with. And really, it sort of takes me back to, do you know what? What you should have done to start with is, yes, do your listing, but go and tell a few people as well. The main reason is Pro is $20. The commission to affiliates is 50% of the fee, as we all know. Okay, you've only got to recruit, if you're going to be an affiliate, 2.5 people basically to cover your fees. So then your fees are entirely free, 100% free. Okay. So you've told 2.5 people, yours is now entirely free. And if you get the people you speak to duplicate that downward, what's going to happen is they're not going to be paying out much money. In fact, they're not going to be paying out anything because everybody's is free as you move down line. But also, if you find you're in a position, let's say something happens in your life, and things happen in all our lives, where you can't do DS domination for a little while, okay, for whatever reason. You don't need to go in your back office and cancel because you think, well, that's costing me £12 a month, I need to save it. Because you've brought these 2 or 3 people in, and now they're bringing 2 or 3 people in, yours is free. You know, so you can keep the subscription up, you can keep the income growing underneath you. And I think you can see that from very early days, because the evidence is in front of you. It's there to be seen. It is now. And those of us who have been in for a while know that evidence wasn't there initially for us guys, so we had to start with nothing. I don't know what the other guys have got, but we've got about 200 in our team. We started with nothing, you know. So the evidence is very clearly there. I'm happy for anybody who wants to come forward and say, well, can you show me it works? By the way, I wouldn't pinch anybody. I'd send them back to who they came from. But that's my view on it. It's slightly different to, yes, prove it, because it just goes on and on and on, and you know, you're actually missing the whole concept of network marketing is to bring other people in. And if you let that go completely, if you've been a networker, you're actually missing how easy this is to bring people in and build a residual income. Yeah,
and it's just showing that evidence. There's so much of the evidence. I think I said on a recent Hangout was just have a look in the groups and look at the success stories down there. Take a screenshot, share it on your Facebook, and then if people are inquiring about, you know, wanting to join you, then they can ask you for your link. That's a dead easy way to network and to create an interest. Even if people just see it there and they say, oh yeah, but you know, I'm not that interested, and then another week later you post another screenshot, look, somebody else is doing it, and then you start building it up. That's why it's really important, if you are having success in DS domination, you need to be posting your you know, figures or success stories or anything into the UK groups to support everybody. If you're not building the affiliate side, then somebody else might be, and whatever you put in there, hopefully, no, anything you put in the groups is public anyway, so don't put anything that's dead personal in there. If it's in that group, then it can be shared on, you know, online. So and it's really valuable to the people that are building the business. If you've made your first $100 within the first 3 days or whatever, that's a success story, and that's what people want to see. They want to see that I'm going to get in, this team's going to help me, and I'm going to, you know, use the training, it's effective, and look at that, this person's done it in 3 days, I might try and do it in 2 days, or, you know, a week, or whatever your schedule is. But if you've got success stories, you know, please put them into the Facebook groups, because they're really powerful and helpful.
Absolutely.
Rick, have we got any more comments on there? You seem to.
Yes, we have.
No, but he's on level 5 of Warlords.
You're convinced I'm playing a game. I'm not. I genuinely do have the comments.
Oh, you cheeky so-and-so.
No.
Playing Facebook games, are we?
I would not do that. Oh, Christ, no, not Facebook games. They're a complete waste of time.
Candy Crush.
I do play games, but it's not what I'm doing now. Right, yes, we do have some interesting, a lot of little questions about trading in the US, actually. Claire was saying, how do you tell the difference, how do you tell the money difference? Because if you sell in the US, you will still be paying from the UK. I'm pretty sure the answer to that is US Unlocked, is it not?
Yeah, US Unlocked, you'd load your card up with US dollars, so you'd be paying in US dollars.
Yeah.
So how do you tell the money difference? It's really quite easy at the moment, because I think really quite easy. There's me, I've just opened my mouth and I can't think what it is. A pound is 60 cents, basically. That's it. Have I got that right, or is it the other way around?
Yeah, that's right.
I tend to just halve it and add a little bit.
No, it's 60.
It's rough, yeah.
10 to 60.
What I do, and I don't know if this might help somebody else that's out on the Hangout tonight, what I did is, when I first started trading in the US, which I started straight away, my first sale actually was in the US, and it came about 1.5 hours after I first listed, so, you know, I did a little happy dance. But what I did was straight away I set up my PayPal to receive dollar amounts, and the first time that you receive an amount in dollars, it will automatically ask you, do you want to keep this balance in dollars? And then what it has like two two separate little mini accounts inside PayPal, if you like, and one stays in dollars and one stays in pounds. So what I do then is if I obviously get paid in pounds, I keep it in pounds. If I get paid in dollars, 9 times out of 10, I'm using suppliers that will take PayPal, just because I found it a lot easier for me. So when I go to those suppliers, I simply pay with my PayPal out of my dollar account. So there's no conversion fees, there's no mess, no fuss. It does mean, though, obviously I keep my accounts in both, dollars and pounds, but, I'm sure my accountant will have hours of fun sorting that out for me. Got to give the poor man something to do. So, so that might be a tip that helps somebody who's just starting out that wants to maybe keep things a little bit more separate, is to have your PayPal in the 2 different denominations. You don't get charged for that. Obviously, PayPal do charge you if you convert between the 2 of them, but I do my best to keep them both separate. So I don't know if that might help somebody out there who wants to keep them both separate.
Yes.
That's reminded me, actually, because I spend a fortune converting funds to UK pounds, and really I don't always need to. I should probably leave a currency, a dollar balance in there.
I try and leave my dollars there alone unless I need them.
So Rick, are you predominantly in the USA? Do you do much trading in the USA?
I'm very similar to you, Kevin. I dabble as far as the listing's concerned. I haven't done a huge amount in either side, but yeah, I want to start doing more on the US because my partner bakes cakes, so I can't really get her doing one side. And
mine lists all the time. That's all she does. She's
good for her. Fair play.
No, that's not fair. It's not all she does. We've got 4 children in the house, 4 cats and a dog, so she has a very busy life. But if she's got any spare time, then she's just listing. She absolutely loves it, but she does it because she likes it as much as anything else.
Good for her. Great stuff. Right, let me just whiz down here and see if there's anything else that's coming.
So we got Stephen in, we got Robert, we got Claire, we got David, Melanie, Stephen. Got loads of people. So what about the returns then? That's a concern because it's further afield. Because you've got to go to somebody's door, knock on it, and get a return. Is it trickier returning items?
I have to say I haven't found. I've had to return a couple of items to a supplier from Elite, and I found it actually much more easy than the UK suppliers. Polite, helpful, fast, done like that, and it was all done online as well, which helps. I didn't have to scan in returns. I didn't have to do anything like that. It was all done by the supplier. I didn't have to scan anything or send it on to the customer. I just booked it in, told them when to pick up, and bosh, it was done. It was really easy. Obviously, that will depend on the supplier that you use, and it will depend on, obviously, I'm not going to say it's 100%, like any company, you are going to run into problems occasionally, but fingers crossed, so far I haven't had a problem, and I deal predominantly in the UK, in the US.
Do you think that they're more set up for, they've obviously got more volume, more population there. Yeah. So do you think they're more set up for the huge processes that go through than the UK are?
I think so, and I think, this might just be my own personal feeling. I've got family out in the States, and I've always found the Americans they don't have our stiff, upper lip. If there's something not right, they'll tell you. So I think that the American side of things is definitely more geared up for returns. They deal with it a lot smoother, and they're not so surprised that you do want to return in the first place. Whereas that seems to be what I found in the UK. They're like almost shocked that you should dare return this item. So I found it very, very, very easy with certain suppliers. But like I said, it's the same as any company. You may run into problems, but I found that again, if you have any problems, that they will do their best to help you out. So.
Yeah, and I just saw something from Stephen there, Raymond Powell, and he said they have a conversion from dollars in PayPal. So if you want to take out your balance from PayPal in pounds, you need to use their conversion tool inside PayPal. It might be the full balance or half of it, whatever you want. So this is if you want to withdraw it into pounds. You convert it first using their own conversion rate, and then it becomes a Great British pound balance, and then you can withdraw from that.
Yeah.
So PayPal debit card is also handy. Yeah, I've got one of them.
I have to say, I've got the PayPal Access card, and I have had nothing but issues with it. I think I am the most unlucky woman on the planet when it comes to PayPal. They have, I've had to phone them several times now about various things. One of them was getting a refund back onto the card. They finally told me yesterday, oh, it could take 30 days. Has nobody told you this? So I felt like reaching down the phone and throttling some unlucky PayPal employee. But in general, when it's working, it works.
A good thing about using that PayPal card for transactions is that if you want to take cash out, you're going to be charged £2 per transaction, and if you use the card as a chip and pin device, it's free transactions in the UK, so you don't get billed. So that's quite a good bonus for the card.
Mm.
What other questions have we got here?
There's a question that Zbigniew has put in here, and I know we did touch on it, I think possibly last time, and I think in a post today. But he's saying, why at the beginning, when I was only doing 5 to 10 listings on eBay, I had a sale, but now when I have 50 plus listings for a long time, I've not sold anything? I'm thinking the answer is Cassini. Would I be right?
Sorry. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you. Was she on camera then?
Yeah. They're stealing my thunder, Kevin.
Sorry, Rick. That was my little boy.
Harley, you are.
Sorry?
They are, definitely. Yeah, just if anyone can basically go into a bit more detail on Cassini and how it's affected people's listings and what the best things to do are, that would be brilliant.
Okay, I'll kick off with that one then.
Okay.
I'm not quite. I mean, actually, it's a shame that Shelley can't come in, and but she's got the little one to put to bed now, because she'll have a lot more information on that. She's extremely knowledgeable on the trading side of things, and she'd probably be able to tell that person, which isn't helping them, why they find themselves not doing the sales when they've got more listings on it, whereas they were when they had a smaller amount. And I say, unfortunately, she's just putting Harley to bed. But I mean, one of the reasons, and I don't think this is the only reason, one of the reasons is Cassini. I don't actually know when Cassini was introduced, but I think it's fairly recent.
Mm.
So what Cassini is basically it's eBay's search engine optimization, if you like. Okay, that's what it's doing. It's ranking you. It's looking at what you're doing. It's checking, it's just checking what you're doing and making sure you're doing it within the realms of what eBay wants. Now, like any SEO, it likes new content because it gets a bit bored with the same old stuff up there. So there are a few things you can do in order to improve your rankings, basically, and this came out in Las Vegas. These are things that Roger and Hitesh recommended. One of the things for a start is load up 3 pictures, not one. Quite a few of us just put 1 picture in. Load up 3 pictures to your listing, and then with each picture, give it a 3-word name. Okay, bless you, Obi. Give it a 3-word name. Okay, so I'm going to try and do an example of that. So if you're listing a saucepan, for instance, you might do pan cooking fries. Okay, then you put it on again. I'm not very good with this cooking side of things, and you might go saucepan, kitchen. Sorry.
Non-stick.
Yeah, exactly. But try and give it each photograph 3 different words, and then use those words in your main title. So effectively 9 words if you can. Okay, which are the same, or duplication of the same 3 words that you've used on the pictures. The emphasis there is that the first 3 words on your title are the ones that Cassini rates the most or ranks the most. So the first 3 have to be the most key. Okay, so the first 3 would be saucepan, non-stick, kitchen. You know, that's it. And then the rest are a little bit more broader titles. That's what it's looking at. I wish I had my notes in front of me, but I know Obi's going to kick in a minute because she was there as well, so she knows quite a bit about what was said. What Cassini wants to do, as I said, it wants to see interesting content, it wants to see renewed content. Another thing you can do, when you reach the end of your listing, okay, at the end of 30 days, or you've sold the item, what we've been taught in the training so far is to press relist, the relist button. What they're saying now is don't do that, because what's going to happen is Cassini is going to be tracking your product for 30 days on your account, or until you've sold it. You're then going to relist it. So as far as Cassini is concerned, it's the same product coming back on, okay? And it's still, like I said, it likes new content. So what they've told us now at the training, in Vegas, is to do sell similar instead. Don't do relist, do sell similar. You can still put the same product on, but what effectively that's going to do is wipe the slate clean. So Cassini will now see, oh, and this is actually Obi's statement the other week, so I'm pinching your thunder a little bit, Obi. Oh, look, new content. I like new content. I'm going to rank you a little bit higher. Okay, so that's something you can do. I know I want to give Obi a chance because she was there as well, and I'm going to reel it all off. So, Obi, did you want to add a bit to that?
Well, I think you've covered most things there, really. As long as you remember the basics, which is Cassini likes new, shiny, shiny new. It likes that. A couple of tips that I picked up was to do with description. Mix up your description a little bit. If you're simply cutting and pasting from Amazon, which obviously is in the training, and that's basic, the tips, you've got to remember that the tips we're giving you are add-ons to what you already do. This isn't a replacement for the training, because I've been approached by people going, oh, so now we've got to write our own descriptions, now we've got to do this. No, this is an add-on. This is like Pro Plus, if you like, which is something that I need after the 3 AM trainings. The Cassini likes shiny new. So for your descriptions, my top tip would be, yes, cut and paste from Amazon, stick it in a Word document, because that then gets rid of the HTML code in the back, which says, it shows Cassini it's come from Amazon, because Cassini will go, no, I'm not interested in that, it's already on Amazon, I want shiny, shiny new. So cut and paste it into a Word document, then cut and paste it into your item description, because that will take off the HTML coding which tells Cassini it's come from Amazon. So the other thing that you want to do is maybe do an introduction to the item and include those keywords that are in your title, because then Cassini will not only see it as not a straight cut and paste from Amazon, but it will also see it as something completely new. So do a brief introduction, maybe make it a different colour, a different font, mix it up a little bit. It only has to be 1 sentence, but make sure you get those keywords in there, because Cassini will index the first 150 words of your description. So try that. That might certainly help some people boost their sales a little bit, and it breaks up the monotony of cut, paste, cut, paste, cut, paste. So that's something that I found personally has helped, certainly with the sales side of things, is to mix up the description a little bit. Plus, I know that we've had a few people in the group recently saying, oh, I found somebody, found my items, they've completely ripped off my items. You know, that will also help you spot those people that are ripping off your items, because, you know, it's obvious that it's yours because you wrote it. So, you know, that gives you some leverage to go back and say, oi, back off. So hopefully that's Sorry?
Sorry, never mind, ignore me. Right, just I've got a couple of other things for that as well, if people are making notes. And I've got Shelley here. Come in, Shelley. Oh, she hasn't got makeup on. So
I've got no makeup on, Shelley. I've come straight from karate training.
Come on, people want to see you. This girl is a full-time lister. She made £800 in her first month.
Yeah, that's going great.
Oh, that's going really good. Come on.
Well done, Shelley.
Cheers.
Yay, Shelley!
I have.
God almighty.
Hello.
Hey, Shelley.
Hello.
It's like the black and white minstrel.
Oh,
Can you give us some more listing tips for people that are maybe brand new or they've had trouble with Cassini not indexing their items? What have you found with
Just repeat what the guy said. Rick asked the question, and if you can repeat what the question was. If Rick can repeat what that guy's question was.
I can indeed, yes. Zbigniew was just saying that at the start of when he first started DS Domination, he was having only listing a few items and getting more sales, and now he's listing many more items and getting fewer sales, and he was wondering why that was. And we just kind of expanded and figured it was probably something to do with Cassini, and we heard you're the expert on that.
Oh. Well, I'm not the expert at Cassini, but I do know a bit about, because that happened to me. When I had a few items listed in Pro, I was making quite a good sales, and then I listed loads. And I think you need to have, it's good to have a lot of items, but then on the other hand, you need to be able to manage them and keep an eye on them and just check that someone hasn't undercut you. Or with Cassini, we now know to sell similar rather than relist and make a few changes. But I find when you have lots of items, when you first start to find a few items, you're very careful at when you find those items, and then when you maybe feel more confident, you make you might settle for items just so you've got more listings. So be very specific in what you're listing, and as long as you really think out of the box and try and find different products, then you're not going to come up against as many competitors in the early days. But obviously people are now using spidering, so they will eventually find you. But as Obi says, if you add your own little text at the beginning and different things, you'll be able to spot those people and obviously go back to them and say, "Oh, what are you doing?" sort of thing. So.
What were the initial mistakes maybe that you made that are quite common in listing practices?
The main things was I followed the training and I did exactly what Roger said. Take the first couple of sentences off of Amazon and then the bullet points. But I soon learned if I really jig things about, it's not so obvious where they're from, but obviously at the time I didn't realise if you right-click, people can search on your picture. So obviously I know that now, though I've known it a little while. But yeah, that was the key thing. I thought I was being clever by changing my description box. Obviously I still change it now to make it very different, and I'm using a lot of other suppliers, so I don't really get that much undercutting because I use elite suppliers and I've got a few other suppliers that I use as well. You should be in bed. I know I'm a bad parent. He had a 2 hours sleep today, so that's wasted away. What else? I had 200 items plus listed, and I wasn't able to manage them. So sales went from being quite high. Sales went from being quite high to not so many, and then I'd go and search those items to see if other people had sold them, and then I'd find where other people had literally totally undercut me and used the same titles as me. So the key thing there is just to review your listings. If you're on Pro, you need to do it every few days. Not so much when you're on Elite, but yeah, just review your listings. Yes.
And one thing that people are doing, just for the viewers out there, if you've got a large inventory of items that you're struggling to manage, a lot of the US people, I don't so much know about the UK people yet, but they've got a huge amount of items there. They've got the listing process, they've got the inventory that they've got to make sure it's still in stock, they've got to manage the sales process. So what they're doing is going to virtual assistants like Odesk or do you know any others? I can't remember the names of them.
Yeah, I've heard of people doing that, but I've just never. I've always just done them myself, and I maybe when I get very big and start listing loads of things, I will do that. But at the moment, and I think initially when people sign up, they're not looking to, they want to just see that it works, and they want to be able to maintain their listings, and they're not probably looking at getting an outsourcing company to come and sort of manage their listings. So I'd say initially, obviously, do it yourself. If you know a lot about that, and you've got past experience on eBay, and you've already got someone in place, then that's really good. But it's not something I've ever looked at, just basically because I want it to be my business, and it's my sort of baby that I've just started doing since November, and I just want to be able to promote it to my downline, and not have to say, well, I've actually got someone else managing my listings, because it just doesn't sound like. They might think, oh, well, if she can't do her own listings, will I be able to, sort of thing. So it doesn't sound like it's something doable for someone else, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I understand that point of view. They're doing a huge amount of volume, so what their eventual plan is it's going to be $1 million business. So to manage that, it's a hell of a lot of listings to manage. So what they're doing now is getting the right people in place. So I'm just showing the potential. If you want it to be something that you manage, brilliant. If you want it to be $1 million business where you are the central location for all these items on eBay, Amazon, wherever you're listing them, they've got all these systems in place so that they can walk away from them. They don't have to manage it, and it's taken care of.
Yeah, no, well, definitely you need that without a doubt. Yeah.
But it's just it's so good that you can go through the exact same training, and whatever level of profit you want to make, that's it. That's what you can do with it. It's incredible.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. So what have I missed? No, I didn't.
No, I think you got a lot of things there. I just wanted to come back to Obi. Maybe you could touch on something that maybe mistakes that you made initially that might help people out. Can you think of any?
Can I think of any? Yes, a lot. I believe in just going in.
Donut in Vegas.
Sorry?
Eating that extra donut at breakfast in Vegas, that was
I do not regret that at all. That was an awesome donut. That was worth the crunches that I got when I got back. Yeah, the mistakes that I made. Well, to start with, let me give you a laundry list. I didn't check my stock enough, and certainly when you get to Elite, there are a couple of Elite suppliers in there whose stock levels are very jittery. So I didn't check my stock enough, and I got myself into a couple of situations where I had to, tell customers that I wasn't going to be able to fulfill the order. So check your stock regularly. What else did I do? My goodness, I did loads. I cut and pasted to eBay without checking, whether or not the formatting was right. So then when I went to relist and I checked, I was looking at this thing and thinking, my God, this is dreadful. It's no wonder I didn't sell any. Everything was all bunched up and squashed up. What else did I do? Oh my goodness, I did quite a few little things that now looking back, I'm like. But these are the things that are good, because if you get your mistakes out the way while you're pro, that's great. When you get to Elite and higher, that's when you don't want to be making these mistakes. So it's good to get your mistakes out the way, because you will never do that again.
Well, I'll tell you another one I've seen is on the listings where people have taken it off and put it straight into eBay. It's tagged down the bottom, and I know that one of the Elite suppliers does this.
Yeah.
So you're basically telling your customer exactly where you got your item from. So that's why you take the HTML out by dropping it into Word first and then pasting it back in.
Always read through what you're cutting and pasting, because nowadays I take out things like the manufacturers, unless it's, a big selling point. I take all of that out, so I drop it into Word, I proofread it, because don't forget, it's a human writing this on Amazon, and there's, the amount of spelling mistakes and things that I found on Amazon. So always proofread your listing, because, yeah, you are cutting and pasting, but it's becoming your listing. So if there's a mistake in there, then it's down to you. I had a lady who came back to me and she returned quite a large profit item because I'd simply found somebody on eBay who was selling, and I did the thing that's in the training where you say, right, I have one like this, sells similar. This person it was a gas barbecue. They had it listed as in the propane section, whereas in fact it was something else. And I didn't check because, I'm from the UK. We don't need barbecues. We're not familiar with. But I didn't check that, and she came back to me and said, well, actually, this was listed in this category, so I bought it, and that turned out to be quite a high profit item that I lost out. So, it's always a good idea to have a quick scan through, just make sure that what the listing is matches up to where you're posting it to, the category. I know the category is not that important, but in some instances it can be. So just run through your items before you hit that list button, because it becomes yours then, and you're liable then for any mistakes in the listing. So just have a quick scan through for anything obvious before you list.
Yeah.
And
I wanted to say something as well.
Yeah, basically, this is for like pro people and elite as well, but it doesn't happen so much on elite. I'd say more so on pro. Check your addresses when because some sites auto-generate or do a recommendation of where you're posting to. Cross-reference it with who you're posting it to. Because hands up, I sent one to the wrong address. Lucky enough, it got pinged back, and I had to resend it and double-check. But I would, that's something you do need to check, because I know that some of these sites do give you the recommendation on the address. Once you put it in, the preferred address, just double check.
Yeah, we've all done that, I'm sure. And had to place a very, very quick phone call to the supplier going, no, don't send it there!
Wrong place.
Yeah,
So
wrong place.
Is there any other points that you want to cover? So for people that weren't on the Hangout from the start, the footage from the DS event is in the back office. The bonuses, they are going to be released over the next few days. Yeah, I think that's about all I said initially, I think. Any more questions there, Rick, that we need to address?
I'm just scanning down there. I can't see anything immediately that's jumping out at me. Not that I can't, reply to very quickly.
Well, it might be worth sharing on video if there is anything that you're replying to.
Yeah, if you like. Claire was just asking how much Elite was. $99 a month, Claire. It's about 60 quid.
Yeah.
Brian was just asking again what eBay's algorithm was called. That's Cassini. Nothing detailed we haven't really covered. I think we've done pretty well, and everyone else on here has done very well for answering everything in quite a bit of detail. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Could I just say one thing? I see a lot of questions, various questions really, and on the pro level, and don't misjudge like the live training that Roger does on the pro, because he updates the information within the live training. Like the stuff, like, even I go back to that now, and I'm in elite, because he updates and mentions about things within that, because change the videos all the time. That's a time-consuming thing. I'd just like to sort of put that across to people. Get in there and look at them live trainings as well if you're in pro.
Yeah, very good point. Sorry, Kevin.
Yeah, I think there's a bit more to that, to be honest, with the live training that's in your back office, and it's at every level, obviously. What happens with anything, and this has been my experience with any business I've ever been involved in all my life, is you start with, you get a thing called entrepreneurial growth in business, and what that is, that's a sort of an acceleration in the growth of your business, which is actually based on your enthusiasm for your business. And if there are any business people on here, they'll recognize exactly what I'm talking about. You start off at sort of 150 miles an hour with your turbo engines on and everything, you're keen as everything, you're flitting here, there, and everywhere. You're building a wonderful business, and then as time progresses, something comes along. You start getting little knocks. You know, you get complaints from people. You go down the pub and, oh, that will never work, from the guy at the end of the counter, and it just happens. That's just the way it is, and you've got to be a really strong personality to actually ignore all that. There's a lot of negativity around you. There's a lot of negativity around all of us. If you're aware of it, you'll hear it, and you quite often will latch onto it, because we're all flawed, you know, and confidence is a big thing with a human being, and we all need confidence. And people will knock your confidence just through these little things that they do, and that's happened to me in everything I've done. And it's only as I've got a bit older that I've built resistance to it, where and I still get drawn into things where I try to ignore people. What's going to happen in DS Domination is you're going to join at the pro level. You're on the back of your enthusiasm, you're going to be on there listing loads of items, and you know, you're going to do a few sales, and you're going to post in the group and, you know, say, oh, I've sold an item, fantastic, and then something out of the blue, you're going to get a return or something like that, and that's the knock. That's the, oh God, or somebody's going to say something to you. That's the knock again. Oh, you know, and it deflates you. Why people do it, I don't know. The Americans, I don't think, do it as badly as we do, but there's a little bit of jealousy involved. There's all sorts of reasons, to be quite honest. I found in the past that I've gone in to watch Roger's live training, and it restores all the confidence. All those knocks you've taken in the meantime, it just restores it to you, and you suddenly feel a lot better inside and think, yeah, what I'm doing works. There's the guy who invented it telling me it works. You know, not only is he telling me, he's showing me it works. So you build your confidence back up again, and then sure enough, you'll go back into the big wide world, and people will start to knock it again. That's, as I say, that's happened to me in just about everything. And use the live training as fuel to restore your confidence and get on with what you're doing, and ignore people. Honestly, just ignore them. If they're not doing this themselves, they don't understand it. You know, they've got their own problems in life, and quite often people will, this is all deep sort of psychological stuff, quite often people will share all their rubbish with you because they want to drag you into it and pull you into their world and share it with them. Keep yourself above that and say, something I'm doing is fantastic, and I tell you what, come and join me. Don't go and join them, get them to come and join you, and tell them to go to the live training, and let Roger give you that lift again that gives you the enthusiasm that you had when you first started. You know, it's true. Well, at least I think it's true. That's my opinion on it.
It is, and look at this. I was looking at this earlier. You see that?
How did you yeah.
Zig Ziglar. So I was listening to that. I've listened to it all day long, and one of the things that he says was you'll get these obstacles, like you say, in the returns, and he said the way to get over that was, is this thing going to affect you? And if this little bump, it stops you doing whatever you're doing, it means you haven't got a long-term goal. It means you haven't thought of the future, what DS Domination is going to bring you. Mm-hmm. So you need to be thinking long-term, and then when somebody comes up and says, you know, what a load of rubbish, that'll never work, you think, hang on a minute, what's happening for you? This isn't going to affect me. I'm still heading towards that long-term goal. So that's what Zig Ziglar does, and the thing is to keep your mindset really strong, and there's so much stuff out there that you can listen to as you're listing items. You don't maybe need to concentrate on it that hard. Have it going on in the background to keep you, you know, in the right frame of mind. You're a successful person on a journey, leading the way away from these naysayers and people that don't believe in what you're doing. So you need to stay strong.
And this is my favourite subject, personal development, so I'm going to chuck in something here as well. Jim Rohn calls those people that kind of want to bring you down and have a go at your business and say negative stuff, he calls them the birds, because the analogy is that you're sowing the seeds of success and you're there, you know, some will fall by the wayside, you know, using various biblical references. And one problem is, if you get the birds, you could go chasing the birds, and the problem by doing that is you leave the field. So you need to stay focused on what you're doing and don't let other people bring you down and take your focus off your main goal.
Yeah. Once you get, I mean, it's almost, it's almost amusing, but I'm not going to say, I'm not insulting anybody, and I hope I'm not. It's almost amusing as you move up through the levels in DS and you realise what's available to you in Elite and in Unleashed and Genesis, and once you sort of get to those levels, it's wow, this is a real eye-opener. And what you find is you look sort of back at the situation with Pro, and you see people copying each other's titles and undercutting them by 50p and those sort of. It's almost amusing to watch. It really is, because if you progress with this business as the way you should be setting yourself out to get to Elite, to get to the other levels, when you get to those levels, you will look back at that and you'll chuckle to yourself and think, God, what a performance that was. If you look at the money that it's possible to earn at the higher levels. I can see Obi smiling, so she's obviously got the higher package. She knows exactly what I'm saying. Anybody who's got the higher packages knows that once you get out there, you use Pro as a stepping stone. It's your first learning curve. It's your initial training. It's your apprenticeship. But finish that apprenticeship as soon as you can. Get on to the next level. And we're not trying to sell you Elite because your promoters get a bit more commission. The key to this, the only way this is going to work in the UK as a whole, is if everybody is making money. We know that. And you will make money through two means. One, you need to get up to levels where you're earning decent money. And two, you need to actively recruit as well. Although that might not be comfortable for some people, if you think about that logically, the analysis I made earlier about getting 3 people, if you're working on those two, then this will succeed, definitely. Sorry, a couple of things on Cassini. We were talking earlier and I hadn't quite finished. If people are making notes again, what was I going to say? Your returns policy. Your returns policy, I think, is set at 14 days. Increase your returns policy to 30 days. Okay, again, eBay likes that. It prefers you to increase your returns policy to 30 days. There was one more, which I'll come back to in a minute. If other people want to talk, I'll think of the other one, and I'll come back to it.
We've run out of things to say.
Well, I was just going to ask. Obviously, we've just covered a little bit of the personal development, and Rick, you were saying earlier that maybe the Americans have got this down, whereas we're still catching up on this. If anybody out there is listening, does anybody else on the panel have a recommendation for somebody, a development program, or a speaker that people can listen to? That want to find out a bit more about what we were just talking about.
I have. If you get them to PM me, Obi, I will give them exclusive access to my audio library.
Oh, well,
I have rather a lot of that.
Just do it yourself, Rick.
Say again.
You just do it yourself. You can be Mr. Motivator.
Well, I could. I haven't got the voice for it though. I drone too much.
Guys, I hope Stephen and Rick don't mind me saying, but every Sunday night at 8 o'clock, I'm sure you won't mind, because I said at the end of the day it's about getting people successful at selling. Every Sunday night, Shelley and a couple of other guys from our team hold a masterclass. Okay, and the masterclass is purely about strategies for selling. That's what it's for. So if anybody wants to connect direct with Shelley, it's Shelley Nichol, SHELLEY NICHOL, okay, or myself, then we're happy to help and direct people to the masterclass. It's every Sunday, 8 o'clock, and we'll be going through techniques. There'll be people on the panel who are successful at selling, multiple amounts of products and making money from this. If that helps anybody, then you're welcome to sort of connect with us, and we'll put you onto that masterclass. Critically, it's members only. We don't record it for public knowledge because we don't want it to go out to people who haven't joined DS Domination yet. So if you do want to come on board, you'd have to prove to us you are a member of DS Domination and an active member, and then we could let you into that masterclass and you'll pick up some good knowledge from there. In fact, I've got plans for you to be on there soon, Obi, as well. Well, I've got plans.
Oh my goodness! You suckers for punishment.
So that's available to people if they want to take advantage of it.
That's really valuable. And can we have a link in our group so that people can, maybe get involved with that?
Yeah, I don't see why not. We did have we did the first one last Sunday, and the guy who's setting this all up for us, what we have to do is we have to protect it. And through the link before, when we did the first one, the link actually stayed live and people could watch a repeat of it. And of course, we didn't want it going out just all over the internet. So, yeah, sure, I can look into that, Steve, and yeah, get that.
If the link is shared in the groups rather than in the chat here on the Hangout, that would be keeping it private.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, members only. Yeah, that's
great stuff. Okay. Thank you, Kevin. That's very valuable.
But it's not, it's not my thing. That is, it's guys in the team. It's Shelley and Arabella, and we've got a couple of others who are on that. So they're driving that thing, not me. Although I'll probably be there because I can't keep my nose out of anything. But
we'll play them.
Okay.
Yeah, very good. Any more pointers? Any more questions? Anything else? Is that a wrap for this week? Because we've gone an hour and a half already.
So I was just going to quickly say, someone who's getting started with personal development, Jim Rohn, Build Your Network Marketing. I think that was a good, hour long, 45 minutes, hour long. That's quite a good one. That has that saying that Rick mentioned, which is short, sharp pointers that he does cover.
That's worth getting in touch with me if you want that, by the way.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. I want to help. I love personal development. I love sharing it. So
I think between us we've got the manual, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
The whole personal development library going.
Yeah, I'm a bit of an addict, so yeah.
I had a fabulous Tony Robbins disc set. Unfortunately, it was in my car when it got stolen, so I lost it, and I've not been able to find it again since.
But think on the plus side, Ovi. You could be helping that thief better his life.
They totally. Unfortunately, the crackhead that stole the car, I don't think they could read for a start, and secondly, it got crushed along with the car.
Oh no.
I know.
Gutted. I'll take that back then.
Was it Personal Power 2?
Tony Robbins box set for Christmas, and you go ahead.
Bobby, was it Personal Power 2?
No, it was the classic edition, and it came with a couple of bonuses that they don't do with it anymore. So I was really gutted. But it's an idea for my Christmas list, boys. Hint, hint.
I think you can get it on eBay.
Is anybody selling it?
Yeah, it's a big profitable item, that one.
Quick, everybody go list. I will buy.
Right, so I think we'll wrap it there. Thanks for joining us. Leave comments down below, and we'll get back to you in due course. Thank you for the panelists down here. You've given us some really valuable information, and hopefully we've encouraged you now to get listing in the US as soon as possible and start making the big money where the big crowd of people are. And we want to see these success stories. So when you've made your first $100 in the US as a result of this information we've given you today, we want to see your success stories in our pro group, in our elite group, in these levels of groups. So thanks once again, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Sorry, one more thing. I think this is really important, particularly if it's new people joining DS Domination. You need to treat this as not a short-term, quick money-making project. Okay. If you join other things, they have these sort of fast-track processes initially with network marketing. They're fast-track to big money, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't work. 95 to 97% of people fail in network marketing, yet they join them for this fast-track, earn a load of money really quick. You've got to be prepared to set yourself a goal in this. And the goal may be, for some of you, might pick it up really quick, and you'll start making big money within 2, 3, 4 weeks. But for the majority of people, allow yourself 90 days. It's a 90-day project. That's what Roger says in the training. Allow yourself an amount of time. So when you get started, if you're now looking at the USA thing and you're looking at it seriously as a consequence of this hangout, and you're going to come up against a few obstacles like Stephen was talking about earlier on, again, don't let that beat you up. Keep this in mind. It's a 90-day project. Once you get past that first 90 days, you've fully done your apprenticeship, you'll have a business that will be running and producing you an income where if your goal is to pack up work, and that sort of thing, that's realistic. That can happen after that time period. If you think you're going to join today and be packing up work in 2 weeks' time, you're living in cloud cuckoo land. That's not the way it works. Allow yourself enough time to build this business and build it solidly. Okay, that's my final word. Sorry, I don't know why I'm apologising.
Very British.
There we go. And we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, everyone.